Tell us, is it still very busy there? It looks like it is.
It's still very busy around Qunu. Even in the homestead, it's still very busy, as we're expecting that by the end of today, that structure that accommodated 4,500 people who attended the funeral, it will be the beginning of taking it off. As you can see behind me, a helicopter from the SABC has just landed to ensure that security is still very, very tight in this area of Qunu, as there are still international and local journalists that are still trying to unpack their stuff. If you can just go to the left-hand side, tents are still standing where Telkom, international journalists are still trying to unpack their things to ensure that by the end of today they have moved out of this Youth and Heritage Center. This Youth and Heritage Center was a hub of activities yesterday. It was a media center. Different media were gathered here to ensure that they tell the story like it is.
Zimkhitha, you're talking about the media and the story that they tell you. What's been the reaction of the media, international and local, after proceedings now? Were there any complaints about access to the funeral by them?
There's been mixed reaction as from Saturday. Saturday morning, we saw thousands gathering from Tata Airport all the way to Qunu, to Mandela's farm. They were very, very excited to see his hearse carrying his body to his home. But later in the afternoon, we saw a different reflection and a different mood amongst the residents here, as they realized that it's a reality that he is no longer with them. It is a reality that he is no longer coming back to see them face to face. We saw them at the night vigil, some shedding tears, saying their last prayers. Yesterday, there were some complaints that they were sidelined by government, given the fact that only 4,500 people could attend the funeral services, but they were catered for. They were not really left out. There were hundreds of public mourning areas across the country, and in the Eastern Cape there were more than 30 of them, and in Tata alone there were 11, giving each and every resident of this area a chance to view the funeral as it happens.
Now, Zimkhitha, let's talk about the Mandela family and how they are doing. They've asked yesterday for a little bit of space and privacy. How are they doing today?
Today, we haven't seen any member of the family as we stood out of the house. They are still locked inside. But after Makaziwe Mandela spoke to the SABC on Friday, she re-emphasized that she really would like her family to deal with this at their own space. And we are giving them that as the media. And what I can also tell you is that the residents of this area are trying to also, when they come out, if they do come out, to maybe shake hands with them, because in this Xhosa tradition and custom, if you shake a hand with someone, it's a sign that you are sharing that pain with them. So residents are waiting for that moment to see them face to face, as they haven't had that chance as yet, so that they can show them love and tell them that they are not only sharing the pain as the Mandela family, but the entire country is feeling the loss of Tata Mandela.
And the media, they've been respecting the call for privacy, and also the early stop to the proceedings yesterday. They ended the world feed before the coffin went into the ground. What did they say about that?
The media really respected all the requests that were made, both by government and the Mandela family. We saw them stepping out. We saw them taking shots from a distance as it was requested. And no one would take a chance. There was hundreds of Defence Force members here, hundreds of police, even people from the Department of Correctional Services deployed their officials here to ensure that safety is at the highest of levels. So no one could take a chance. Media obeyed all the rules that they were requested. They worked from this media center and still were able to tell the story as it happened at the Mandela farm.
Now, on a personal level, for you yourself, Zimkhitha, you've been very busy doing live crossings almost on the half hour for the entire weekend. Just tell us about your experience and how you found to be part of this, which is probably the greatest story that will ever come out of our nation.
It is indeed the greatest story that will ever happen across the entire nation of South Africa, and as well as from the area of Mthatha. For myself personally, it's been a highlight of my career, I should say, and I've never seen so many people so emotional at the same time. This just shows how much people of South Africa love Tata Madiba. There's been a lot of activities, some handing out gifts to show that they love Tata Madiba, some shedding tears, some wanting to tell stories of their own, of their experiences with Tata Madiba, some making pictures of Tata Madiba. These have been the things that we've been experiencing since we've been telling this story, and I've never seen the Mandela family so emotional. They were emotional when he was released from prison, but the loss of knowing that he will no longer be with them was really a reality that we had to deal with as journalists and had to show the nation.
Zimkhitha, finally, just tell us about the shrine that's now going to be created at the gravesite, and the sort of walk that people would have to take to go and visit Madiba's grave.
At this stage, those details have not really been divulged to the media. But on the 21st of this month, normally there is a comrades marathon that usually takes place from Madiba's home to Mthatha. We are likely to see hundreds of people this year coming in numbers to ensure that, because it starts right in the homestead. So hundreds have already let us know that they will be attending, because they don't want to miss the opportunity of getting inside the yard and show that they can take a glimpse of everything that was happening there.
Zimkhitha, thank you very much for that lively contribution on Monday morning, Reconciliation Day. It's a public holiday here in South Africa, and that was very nice work there by Zimkhitha Macingwane, who reported live from Qunu in the Eastern Cape, of course, where former President Nelson Mandela was buried yesterday. Moving on, a big crowd is expected at the Union Buildings in Pretoria today for the unveiling of a statue of Nelson Mandela.